Okay, so it really didn't take that many tools to assemble the stand. I have a number 3 Phillips screwdriver, two 17mm wrenches, one of them ratcheting. You could obviously use a ratchet and a socket and a backup wrench if you'd like. 16mm wrench. I only used one even though I have two sitting there. I was able to hold the intermediate brace by hand, so I didn't need two of them to back them up. A 13mm ratcheting wrench and two 10mm wrenches. Once again, one ratcheting and one not. Overall, I am very impressed with this stand. It is very, very well built, functions very nicely, folds up easily, and should last as long as the saw. It's very heavy. I don't see you wanting to load this in and out of a pickup truck with the saw attached very often. The saw would just be, the entire thing together would just be overwhelmingly heavy. Two people could probably load it, I'm sure. But the nice thing is the saw will come off easily. Just by unscrewing the two red handles, you could then tip and tilt and take the entire saw off of the stand. You will notice here this little red stop. That saw attachment is all the way up against that stop per the manual. I can only assume that is to help keep everything from sliding with gravity when the saw is, or I'm sorry, when the stand is folded in its vertical position. But I'm sure it's adjustable. You can change that based upon gravity and how well everything folds, or if you feel like you're fighting weight. But I hope you've enjoyed this. It is pretty easy to assemble, just a few seconds looking over the manual here and there to make sure you have things placed right, and it should be pretty easy. I will quickly go over my hardware and how things are angled. That way, if you're putting this together and using this video as a reference, you will be able to see how it is put together without having to guess with the manual. We'll start off down here. One of the first things, those Phillips head screws, the heads are facing towards the bend with the nuts facing down. A lot of the other stuff's pretty self-explanatory. It did have the bolts for those arms coming from the inside out. But up here, for this brace, it's from the outside in. When you attach the bar to the main frame assembly, it tells you to keep the openings down, and that's what it's talking about. So you can get in there and put a wrench on that nut, and you can tighten this up if you need to. Plus, that'll keep that from collecting sawdust as if it was facing up. And it wouldn't be really easy to access with that in a way. Now, obviously, you could remove the saw, but once again, I would say the main purpose for putting that downwards would be to keep sawdust from building up inside there. Those are pretty self-explanatory. There's no way you could put those bolts in the wrong way. There's just absolutely no way you could come in from the top down. And that's pretty much it. Just these bolts, which obviously are only going to be able to go one way. Those are attached to a little T-nut in there. And a couple stops, adjustable stops. And adjustable feet, which I will play around with all of this just to make sure everything is level and square and all points are touching on the floor, which will change every time you move it. But once again, for the most part, I'm extremely happy. It is not inexpensive whatsoever. About everywhere I looked was a set price of $2.99. I was able to purchase it at a store that was having a nice rebate, so I was getting another 11% back from this, which will be nice. That'll help buy some more tools for the future. But if you have any questions, please post below in the comments, like, subscribe, and I greatly appreciate it. Thank you.